Hi guys, welcome back to my vlog. Here I'm actually breaking down a whole salted fish. In Cantonese, this is mùi hương yu, which means fermented smelling fish. I use this primarily in my sambal ham yu. It's the main ingredient. This salted fish is not exactly cheap, so I have to make sure I get the most yield from it. That means I have to scrape every bit of meat I can off the bones. So it's a lot of work, very tedious. I just made a fresh batch of sambal ham yu with the fish I broke down just now. So now sticking labels on the jars. I buy my dry goods from Mr. Wu in Tiong Bahru Market. His father was a migrant from Hong Kong who came to Singapore when CK Tang invited him to be their resident woodcarver. Looks like talent runs through the family. Mr. Wu draws and illustrates in between selling dried goods.
Nice one.
I buy my live seafood, especially mud crabs, from Henry weekly. Henry used to supply seafood to restaurants and F&B outlets. But during COVID, restaurants were badly hit, so he had to pivot to selling directly to customers. These mud crabs are for my signature and very popular seafood curry. I buy my live seafood on the day of the dinner itself.
112.
This is a nice red garopa. I think it's about 800 grams. In Cantonese, we call this sak pan, which means rock cod. They have a similar fish in Fiji. They call it salmon cod, which basically is a coral trout.
Okay lah.
When it comes to crabs, the harder the shell, the more the meat. In Fiji, legend has it that if you look at the shell of a crab, especially after sun drying it, the face of Dakuwanga, the Fijian shark god, will reveal itself. So I'm checking these shells to see if I can find any godly faces on them. A merlion perhaps, maybe? So I'm prepping the red garopa to make my smoked wok lovo fish. The dish is inspired by Fijian lovo. In the Pacific Islands such as Fiji, cooking with an earth oven is very much the tradition. Simply put, an earth oven means you dig a pit in the ground, you heat stones or wood, Then you prepare your meats and vegetables, root crops, and wrap them in leaves, then place them in the pit, then cover it all up with earth and soil and let it cook and smoke. These are sweet potato leaves. But since I live in a HDB apartment in Singapore, I'll have to sneak out at midnight when it's dark, so no one can see me digging a pit, lighting a fire to smoke this fish. So finally, after 5 weeks and a lot of hard work, Aslan has completed about 99% of the farm. It's almost time for me to start farming.
It's all very self-explanatory. Okay, basically, you set the clock.
Today, he's giving me a rundown on what he's done and how to operate the irrigation system.
How long you can set it from like 3 minutes, and then basically you see that there are 3 outlets. So that is a station. So you can move 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's it. How often is how often this thing will activate? So this is every 12 hours. Increase it or decrease it, change it depending on what the plant wants.
Okay.
Which brings us to the next thing. So I actually condition all of it for like general use.
Okay.
So it's like generally well draining. However, you want to grow your taro. So we are going to decide today which plot you want to grow your taro in. We will eventually remove the netting when they replace the sheet.
Right.
So then you should have the light coming in like unfiltered, basically.
Which is better?
I mean, you're growing edibles, yes.
Yeah,
we want that.
Mustafa's supermarket is massive. You can find everything here. You can also get lost. But today, all I need is a few cans of corned mutton.
Hiding behind these boxes. Corned mutton. Maggi goreng Singapore. Sedap, sedap. Julung.
So I've been raising a pair of lovebirds for a while, Bula and Winter. I've always thought that they were both boys, but the other day they surprised me with this, an egg. Winter is a female. She had fooled me all along. The day has finally come. Let's start farming. The first crop I'm gonna plant is taro. In Cantonese, we call it wu tau or heng wu. In Fijian, we call it galo.
So these are the taro that I sprouted at home indoors that I'm going to plant into the boxes now. These as well, grown indoors, and now getting the full glory of the sun.
The second crop on my list are chilies, different varieties of chilies. This is a kampong chili plant.